Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a third trimester recap. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alexis. I am currently 39 weeks pregnant with my third baby. This time we are having a baby boy and I'm so excited to welcome him in literally 7 days or less, give or take, depending on when he wants to come. But I thought it would be fun and best to do a third trimester recap while I'm still pregnant and while still everything is fresh in my mind, because I know once I give birth, everything about pregnancy is just going to leave my mind. Honestly, it's so surreal that I'm 39 weeks because I have been documenting this entire pregnancy journey since the moment we found out back in January, all on YouTube, and now to be in the middle of September and be literally ready to give birth is crazy. Feels like just yesterday we were finding out that we were pregnant and now we are in the last final days. So it's just so surreal and so sweet. So if you're new here and you want to check out my other videos, you can see the entire pregnancy process basically from the start up until the end, and we will continue coming along throughout this motherhood journey of raising 3 kids together after I have the baby. So yeah, if you like that motherhood content, feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Okay, let's get started. So the third trimester is from week 28 to week 40, or sometimes some women go up to 42 weeks. So to remember the weeks, because honestly, sometimes they just blend together, I have documented everything week by week in my very own pregnancy journal that I created this pregnancy, which is crazy. I'm just so thankful that I've had this journal, that I've had a place to document all of my memories so that when I look back, I can literally see every week what I was going through, anything that I wanted to write, any symptoms, and I have that now forever, and with future pregnancies I can look at it and compare, and I just think it's so sweet and special. If you want to check out my pregnancy book, you can go ahead and see it on Amazon. Honestly, on Amazon there's not many photos, but I do have an Instagram account for my pregnancy journal, so if you follow me, it's at Agape Unconditional, and you will see all the stuff curated towards my pregnancy journal. And for those of you who've never seen it before, this is my pregnancy journal. So it's called A Book of Life Weekly Pregnancy Journal. So if you type that in on Amazon, you should be able to find it, but I'll also have it linked below. And then on the back, it says deeply loved and fully known, because every single baby is loved from the beginning of time, deeply known by our Father in heaven. So for me, my third trimester started the week before the 4th of July, so the last week of June. And honestly, I didn't have too many symptoms right away in the beginning. I definitely remember having sciatica pain, and I know that I wrote that down quite a bit because that was kind of bothering me as my ligaments and everything were just more relaxed, and I guess moving them more. I definitely felt more sciatica pain with this pregnancy than anything else, but I think overall I had really good energy, and my belly was bumping. Honestly, the third trimester is one of the greatest times in my pregnancies personally, because I love wearing the bump. I love that the bump is out, the bump is showing. You still pretty much have a good amount of energy. It can get a little bit harder towards the end when you're getting super big and baby's full grown. So I do think the third trimester, although it comes with some challenges towards the end, it is a really still very sweet time in pregnancy, and honestly the best for showcasing the bump. Some highlights of the third trimester personally for our family is that we upgraded to a minivan. So now that we have 3 kids, now we will have a minivan, which is a crazy transition because we were driving a literal Toyota Corolla, and God just knew that we needed a van, and we found the perfect van for us. So that was definitely one of the highlights of the third trimester. But overall, it was, besides the sciatica pain, 35-ish weeks when it started to become a little bit more uncomfortable sleeping at night, just the pressure and everything, and like tossing back and forth and just getting up to use the restroom a lot, I remember. And then also like eating wise, like it would just become a little bit heavier in my stomach because there's less room, you know, as you get further along. So third trimester, looking back, was pretty good, but there were just little minor things like that. But yeah, I wrote a lot of things, like it was just really fun. I started my red raspberry leaf tea, which I encourage every mama to check into because it can be really good for helping labor prep and tone your uterus. This is my third time doing it with my third baby. But yeah, we did a ton of photo shoots because it's just a really great time to get your bump and take pictures. So I remember we did a ton of photo shoots when I did a lot of brand work for maternity, because it's just like the prime time where your belly is showing, you're still feeling good, not really swollen yet, you know. Yeah, things have been really good. I've been so blessed that I didn't have gestational diabetes with this pregnancy, because I had it with my last pregnancy with my daughter, but I don't have it this time, which has been amazing. I definitely notice I'm a little bit swollen, not too much, but a little bit. And honestly, I think that's just normal with the fluid retention and everything that happens. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I've been able to stay very active in this pregnancy and continue doing all of my workout classes, and obviously giving myself grace on weeks when I needed it. But I was able to do a lot weightlifting and cardio and still being very active. So I definitely am very thankful for that. So let's get into the question section. How did your body change the most in the third trimester? I will say my body changed the most towards the middle to the end of the third trimester, because I feel like I was still pretty, my bump was obviously there, but it was still a little bit smaller, and then it definitely got bigger towards the end. And then that's when I felt more like pelvic pressure and just him down lower, if that makes sense. Also, I have 2 stretch marks this time, which I didn't have any stretch marks with my first. I feel very blessed. With my second, I did have, I think, 2 stretch marks, and then this time I got 2 again. But overall, I've been feeling really good, especially because I've been staying active this pregnancy. With my other 2, I wasn't consistently in the gym. I was still active, but I wasn't like doing weightlifting classes or anything like that, if that makes sense. So honestly, I feel like my body has been feeling overall pretty good. It's just sometimes sciatica pain, sometimes just pelvic pressure, but all of those things I think are considered normal as you're literally growing a human. My belly is now the size of a watermelon. Just as your body shifts and changes and your center of gravity kind of reshifts, then you can experience some things like I did. Okay, what symptoms surprised me the most? I will say there was one night where I was super nauseous in the middle of the night, and just randomly at like 36 weeks, and I was like, what is this? I was kind of nervous that it was gonna stay, but thankfully it was just like a one night thing. I don't know if it was something that I ate or what it was, but yeah, that definitely surprised me. Also, I mean, not that the sciatica necessarily surprised me, because I definitely felt it with my first 2, but definitely more pronounced this time. And I think now in the weeks of 38 up to the 39th week, I've been feeling a ton of pelvic pressure, and I've also been feeling Braxton Hicks a lot. So I think that is kind of surprising, because with my other 2, I never really felt that until I was like in labor. When did you notice your belly drop, and if so, when? Honestly, yesterday we went to the zoo with my family, with my mom and my grandma and the 2 kiddos, and we walked a ton, and I really think my belly dropped after we got back home. I noticed, I looked in the mirror and I was like, looking a little bit low, and I definitely felt more pressure since yesterday. So it officially dropped yesterday, but I have noticed it has been slightly going down a little bit. So I can't like pinpoint a time, but I definitely noticed it yesterday. How did sleep change towards the end of pregnancy? I think the last few weeks of pregnancy is preparing you to wake up every few hours with a newborn because it's very rare, and honestly I don't think I've slept fully through the night. God knows how long. Truly, I don't know how long it's been since I've slept fully throughout the night. I have been waking up. Sometimes I'll just get like random bursts of energy. Definitely have to get up to pee and use the restroom. Sometimes I'll be really tired, but it's just it's just funny how different it is sometimes, because sometimes like I will be up for 3 hours literally in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'll have to get up to use the restroom and like really just fall back asleep so easily. So definitely different, but it definitely has been changing towards the third trimester. Everything's just a little bit bigger, a little bit more uncomfortable, and yeah. What was the hardest physical symptom to deal with? I've kind of dealt with a little bit of, not necessarily anxiety. It's been kind of a lot at times where I'm like, man, I'm having my third baby. Sometimes it would just be a little bit overwhelming, and I found that during the third trimester it was easier for me to get more overstimulated, probably because I'm feeling hot flashes, I'm feeling kicking, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling a lot of different things. So it was definitely more easy for me to get overstimulated, if if that makes sense. So I think that was pretty hard to deal with. I know it said physical symptom, but this is more like a mental symptom. But I feel like they kind of go hand in hand because my body is fatiguing faster, which is causing, you know, more overstimulation or just figuring everything out. But it's also very normal because we're literally welcoming our third baby and it's a huge life transition and it's just truly becoming real at this point. So there was just a lot to deal with mentally and physically. But honestly, now after those for like few weeks of processing, I definitely feel way better about everything now and I feel way more excited. I think it was just like a period of time where my brain was like, okay, we need to chill and we need to just process everything that is going on and we just need to take some time to rest. So rest has been my best friend and I've definitely been listening to my body to make sure that I'm resting when I need to. What clothing have you been living in during the last few weeks? A lot of maternity jumpsuits. I have been living in maternity jumpsuits, maternity tank tops. Pretty much everything I'm wearing at this point is maternity and I feel no guilt or shame for that because it's been the most comfortable thing, especially when chasing around two toddlers and being super active and going to the gym almost every day. So I've been living in activewear, specifically maternity activewear. And if you want to see what I've been wearing, I will link everything below because truly a game changer. I wish I had them with my other two pregnancies and everything has been so stinking comfortable, including the bodysuit that I'm wearing right now. Did you change your exercise or daily routine in the third trimester? I will say that it kind of varied day by day depending on how I was feeling. In terms of exercise, I did work out up until about like 36, 37 weeks and then I started to take a week off and then I went back. I went back this week, so at 38 weeks I was back in the gym and it felt super good. But honestly, just listening to my body more during the last few weeks has been critical because on the 37th week I did not feel like going to the gym at all, but then last week I just got a burst of energy and I was like, let's go. Honestly, our daily routine also kind of shifted and changes because if there was just days that I was just so tired and didn't really want to do anything, like I would have to switch our routine with the kids because I'm with them most of the time. So maybe instead of going out and doing an outing, we would stay home and just kind of relax and chill and maybe watch a few more shows. I needed to listen to my body and do that. Otherwise, I just knew that it wasn't going to be a good day. How did you balance mom life while being so pregnant? Grace. Leaning on my husband, definitely pushing myself at times when I wanted to give up, but honestly, I couldn't because I have two kids to take care of, right? So there were definitely times where I did not want to do the dishes or I did not want to make dinner. And I had to push myself to do these things because my kids are literally relying on me. I will say that it has increased my stamina a lot because if I had no babies and was like, had to do this much work with the other two, it would have been just a lot. But I think because like I had one and then I had two and now this is my third, everything has just been adding on. Hopefully this is making sense because it makes sense in my mind. But I think giving myself grace, but also pushing myself to do the things that I need to do even when I don't feel like it definitely helped me be a better mom for my kids and show up better for them as well, even if that means I'm extra tired later. Also been preparing my kids and telling them like mommy's pregnant, so she's a little bit tired lately, or mommy's having a baby, and just getting them excited, kind of making them aware of why I might not have as much energy as I would have if I wasn't pregnant. When did you feel ready for baby's arrival? I think after the 37-week mark, I felt more ready, I guess you can say. I think just being full term just kind of eased my mind, and at that point I'd already done like most of the nesting things. There were just little tiny things that I had to get done. So I think after the 37th week is when I felt very much ready for his arrival. What items are your must-haves in your hospital bag? I will actually be filming a hospital bag video, so if you want to see that, stay tuned because that will also be coming out very soon. Did you try natural labor prep methods like red raspberry leaf tea, dates, pumping, walking? And yes, I have. I've tried red raspberry leaf tea. I honestly like red raspberry leaf tea. I don't mind it. I know some people hate it. I don't mind it. So I've been drinking 1 cup starting around like 35 weeks, 1 cup a day, and then now I'm drinking 2 cups a day. I think I started the 2 cups around 37, 38 weeks. And it's been good. I will say the beginning, I think I felt more Braxton Hicks after starting the tea, but not as much anymore. Dates, I haven't done because they do contain quite a lot of sugar. So I try to stay away from the dates just because with my history of gestational diabetes, I don't want to like consume too much sugar and I want to be aware of my blood sugar levels. So not doing the dates. Pumping, I tried once. So I got my pump out, I think last week or this week. Well, when I was 38 weeks. Technically, I got my pump out and I tried it, but it just gave me kind of like period-like cramps and I didn't really like the feeling. Didn't really do much. So that was the only time I've done that. And walking, yes, I've done a ton of walking, ton of squats, anything that I can to try to and get him to want to come. Do I experience a lot of Braxton Hicks? And I will say, yeah, around the like mid 38 weeks, I've been feeling quite a bit of Braxton Hicks, especially after being super active, feeling my belly tighten. There was like a few days last week that I just felt it consistently, even with resting. It's just my body preparing for labor, but it didn't end up turning into anything. What was the best part of the third trimester? And for me, the best part is just having this baby bump, feeling the kick, just getting to show off my bump. Truly love being pregnant. Probably heard me say that before if you've been following along this journey, but I do love being pregnant. I think it's such a miracle and it's so fun despite everything that it can come with. I do think that pregnancy is beautiful and super enjoyable for the most part. And I will say the hardest part has been sleeping, just because I have to sleep on my side. Sometimes I want to sleep on my back and I can't really do that. I will say I am a little bit excited to be able to lay on my stomach again, and I'm also super excited to be able to snuggle close to my husband or like give him an actual hug, because my big old belly is in the way every single time. So I'm excited to hold him close and my kids close again and just be feeling more like myself. So I think that has been hardest part. Also the pelvic pressure. So every time we go on long walks, it's like I literally have to pee, or it just feels like very strong pressure. So I guess, yeah, that would be the hardest part. And then also the hardest part is not knowing when he's gonna come, because it's like, he could come tonight, he could come tomorrow, he could be here in 2 weeks from now. Like, I don't know. And I think like mentally that's just been hard, because I'm like cleaning my house every night, preparing for when he's gonna come, and then he doesn't come. And I'm like, well, I don't want to have a messy house, but I just wish I knew the day that he was gonna come, you know? If you could give advice to another mom entering her third trimester, what would it be? Write your birth plan, have an idea of kind of what type of birth that you want, educate yourself on the type of birth that you want, and don't listen to a lot of negative things. It's good to be educated, but also keep your mind in a place that is happy and enjoyable and excited, and don't necessarily focus on all of the negative things or the what ifs or the can happens, and just focus on you and your baby and the right now, because comparison is the thief of joy, and you don't want to just be living in this bubble of fear when you really have nothing to be afraid about. If there's not something presented directly to you, don't be afraid and don't hold on to things that don't necessarily exist for you. Not saying that they don't exist for another mom or another situation, but if they don't necessarily exist for you, you can take what you hear, the good parts of what you hear, and leave behind what you don't. But just very much be protective over your mind, and also get a birth ball, because I'm sitting on mine right now and it's literally the only chair that feels comfortable, especially this late in pregnancy. So I love my birth ball, and I actually got a hot pink one, which is so cute, and I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. But anyways, that is my biggest advice to you guys. So let me know in the comments if you guys are expecting, how many weeks you are, if you are in the third trimester, if you just had a baby, if you want a baby, just let me know. I love hearing from you guys and connecting with you guys. But this was all that I had for the third trimester recap. I cannot believe it's almost over. And again, if you guys want a weekly pregnancy journal and want to document your pregnancy week by week, be sure to check out my book that is available now on Amazon. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel, and I will see you guys on the next video.